If AI can shoot, edit, and direct a film, is filmmaking even still a career, or are we watching it die in real time? Picture this scene with me. You're on a set and the lighting crew adjusts the key, the camera dolly glides, the gaffer calls for one more sandbag. There's that electric hum of collaboration, the thing that made you fall in love with this work in the first place. But now imagine the director isn't a person, it's a console. The editor is an algorithm. Half the actors are digital renders. And suddenly that dream job you built your life around starts to look less like a career and more like a machine's hobby. But here's what we're not doing today. We're not doing the predictable AI will steal your job panic piece. We've all heard that song. Instead, we're asking the question beneath the question. When your dream job starts to look like a machine subroutine, what actually happens to you? And more importantly, what remains that only you can do? I'm making you two promises. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with absolute clarity about what's genuinely changing in filmmaking. Not the hype, but the reality. And second, you'll have a sharpened sense of where you still matter. Because what if instead of worrying about being replaced, you discovered you were becoming indispensable in an entirely new way? My name's Chris, and let's jump into it. Scene 1, the shadow in the room. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. There are days when the shadow of automation feels suffocating. You're an editor who spent years mastering the rhythm of a cut, or a colorist who can feel when a grade is emotionally right, or a storyboard artist who translates visions into visual language. You used to feel indispensable. Then you see the headlines, AI-generated video for $10, text to scene in seconds, neural networks that pick the best takes, and something twists in your stomach. It was once put this way: the combination of artificial intelligence with cinematography marks a turning point, giving filmmakers unmatched capacity to push the boundaries of their craft. That sounds exciting on paper, but if you're the person whose craft is being pushed, it feels more like being pushed out. The fear is legitimate. Will my expertise be devalued? Will my role vanish entirely? We're seeing AI tools that analyze footage and select good takes, render entire virtual sets, even generate script variations. That's the first beat of our story today. The fear of replacement is real, and pretending it isn't helps nobody. But, and this is the crucial part, that is only half of the picture. Scene 2, the other side of the coin. When you dig past the panic-inducing headlines, you find something else. Creators using AI not as a replacement, but as a secret weapon. Generative AI is already being deployed in film production, text-to-image generation, image-to-video transformations, 3D synthesis, and neural radiance fields. And here's what's genuinely revolutionary. AI is breaking down the barriers for entry of independent creators. Not just the big studios, they'll be alright. I'm talking about the filmmaker working out of a bedroom in Cleveland or Mumbai or Sao Paulo. Let me paint you a different scene. A solo filmmaker, shoestring budget, no crew of 50 people, no $50,000 camera package rental. Instead, it's a laptop and a skeleton team. And AI tools that can render skies, build digital environments, assist with complex edits. Suddenly, you're not waiting for studio approval or begging investors. You're making and you're shipping, and the gatekeeping shifts. So your first takeaway from all this should be that traditional production-heavy filmmaking jobs are under genuine pressure. But your second takeaway should be that for indie creators and small teams, AI tools are unlocking creative territory that was previously locked behind a capital-intensive and connections-based gate. This isn't a utopian fantasy anymore because it's already happening, but it's also not the full story. Scene 3, what the machines can't touch yet. Let's talk about what actually matters, and the skills where you as a filmmaker still can hold the cards. As automation starts to absorb more of the how, what remains valuable is the why and the what. Your vision and your voice and your ability to craft a story, lead humans, coax performances, and feel the nuance in a moment. Now picture this, you're on a set, and two actors are in a long take, and they've held eye contact just a beat too long. The lighting shifts almost imperceptibly. You don't just choose the shot, you shape that feeling. AI might render that background, it might autocorrect your color, but reading the emotional beat between the actors and knowing when to cut and when to linger, sensing when a performance just crossed from mechanical into alive, that is still human territory. And until it's not, we'll deal with it that way. There was a comment from a filmmaker on Reddit that said, "For all the talk of AI taking over film, I have yet to see any AI video that has two characters making sustained eye contact." So think about that. The machine can generate frames and thousands of them, but it struggles with connection, with presence, with the invisible electricity between two people that makes a scene really breathe. It's something that even actors can't always nail. And so if AI is learning from a slew of movies where even actors aren't always nailing it, it's not going to nail it. There is still a place to stand out. Scene 4, the shift in value. So what's actually changing? There are three big movements. First, there's from crew jobs to creative leadership roles. If editing, color grading, and VFX become easier or cheaper, the premium is going to shift to the story architecture, the design thinking, and the production leadership. The question becomes more about who's steering the ship. Secondly, it's from production heavy to idea heavy. So when the tools become more sophisticated and accessible, what separates you isn't the gear list, it's more your concept, which a lot of filmmakers really just want to deal with. So it's your voice, your originality, and the idea becomes the scarce resource. Third, from gear-based advantage to vision-based advantage. So when everybody has access to powerful tools, what makes you different? It's your choices, your choice of story, your way of seeing it, and your personal aesthetic, your ability to notice what others might miss. And that isn't small. That is the fundamental reorientation of where value is going to lie in filmmaking. Let's get a little bit specific. There was a study in 2025 that explored how generative AI is enabling new production workflows. There was image to video synthesis, neural scene rendering, character generation from text prompts. So what does all this mean if you're a filmmaker? This is your moment to embrace the tools, and you should do that. But more importantly, you should double down on your voice. Because when everyone has access to the same rendering engines, your unique perspective is going to be what cuts through. If you're a technician, a camera operator, a lighting specialist, or a colorist, your value is shifting. You're not becoming obsolete, you're becoming something new. A creative technologist, someone who understands both the poetry and the pipeline. And if you can learn along with the way the times are changing, you might actually become more indispensable knowing the AI, and maybe you won't be replaced by it if you can help them see it. Thirdly, if you're telling stories, your value now lies in choosing the story machines can't imagine. Thirdly, if you're telling stories, your value now lies in choosing the stories that machines can't really imagine, in guiding the emotional experiences, and in creating connection between the frame and the human that's watching it. So guys, as a question, I'd love to know, do you believe that your current skill set will matter in 5 years from now if you don't adapt? Or will your voice, your unique way of seeing, be the thing that sustains you regardless of the tools? So I'd love to hear from you guys. Are you guys within the industry? Are you independent? Are you looking to build something new? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. Scene 5, a reality check. Let's all be honest about what's not happening yet. This matters because navigating hype is really half the battle. Ethical and legal landmines. So who owns the AI-generated visuals? And what happens when the training data sets scrape unlicensed content? These questions aren't resolved. There's lawsuits waiting to happen, and you can check out our other videos here at AIX Visuals on the RiffFitters Network that cover how copyright works with fully non-AI and AI-assisted generation. And that stuff is something that you should take a look at so that you can keep yourself protected. The authenticity problem. Some filmmakers report that AI output feels subtly off, lacking the texture and mistakes of human craft. Audiences can sense it, and you know you can feel it, even if they can't really articulate exactly why. And then there's speed versus soul. You can produce faster, but you cannot ensure emotional resonance. The rhythm that comes from human intention and the productive accidents that happen when things go slightly wrong on set. Those things are not reliably being reproduced by AI yet. The machine will assist, it will amplify, it will disrupt existing workflows, but it can't replace human authorship. Not yet, or maybe not ever. And this distinction is really everything. Notice what's starting to happen here. The definition of filmmaking is starting to shift slightly. It's moving from, can we shoot this? Do we have the gear and the crew and the location and the money? to what story are we telling and how can we tell it with clarity, resonance, and lean resources. The frame is changed and the camera might change, but the lens through which you see the world is the thing that doesn't change, and that will still be yours even if we ever reach the mythical AGI brain. It's just another brain with another opinion versus your opinion and your story. So now let's bring it all home. You started a journey because you believed in something. Images that move or stories that matter, the alchemy of collaboration and the craft, and none of that has really changed. The landscape around you might be shifting, maybe faster than it ever has before, but the core reason for doing this work, that's still on solid ground. And here's your unifier. Filmmaking isn't dying. It's being redefined, and the ones who adapt and who learn to wield the new tools without losing their soul will own the stories that everyone else is too afraid to tell. So I'd love to leave you guys with 4 actionable steps to take forward today. Number 1, remap your skill stack. Draw 2 axes, your core creative voice on one side and the emerging tools and workflows on the other. Ask yourself which combination makes me feel unique instead of redundant. Where's my edge in this new landscape? Number 2, pick one tool and actually try to use it. Don't just explore it and don't just watch tutorials. Build something small. There's free trials you can get into one. Let it be AI pre-visualization, generative storyboarding, or a rapid render test. Make a proof of concept and feel where the tool comes in good and where it falls short for you. Number 3, try to reframe your identity as a story leader. Write this down somewhere. I am the person who chooses the story, guides the emotional tone, and directs the human connection. Not just the technician in the chain, but the person who decides what matters, the storyteller. And number 4, anchor everything in human resonance. Whenever you plan a project, ask, what feeling am I creating? What truth am I reaching for? What moment will I make someone feel less alone? You know this as storytellers and filmmakers already. But because a territory where machines can't follow is the best place to be right now. And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. You're not really competing with AI. You're collaborating with its evolution, if you so choose. The future of filmmaking is less about camera mastery and more about the human mastery, empathy, resonance, vision, and the ability to sense what a moment needs. That means that a crappy movie can't come out just because it has a bunch of money. You can make a good one even without it. The tools may look different, the workflows may transform, but the heart of this job remains unchanged, telling stories that matter to humans who feel something. And so that's still your territory, that's still your craft, that's still your future, if you choose it. Thanks for listening, guys. My name is Chris. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment so we can chat about it. We're going to do an episode every week so you can keep up to date with what's happening and keep ahead. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next week.